Um, okay, yeah. So we can start. And first of all, thank you very much for coming to today's class. And today is our seventh Greek class. And as I have explained earlier, usually my class consists of two parts. First part is grammar. And the second part is reading, right? And for today's course, we are going to talk about some difficult things. So probably I will need Chinese to explain a little bit, but I will also, of course, explain English. But for better understanding of many Chinese participants, I will also use Chinese to explain a little bit, because you will see that it's a little bit difficult. Okay. So to make it short, for the grammar, we're going to talk about Greek perfect. As you have seen here, this is a grammar table from the book, the Cambridge Greek Grammar. And then we will move on to the discussion of perfect. I'm not sure if I can discuss aorist today, because it's a little bit complicated, but I will try. Okay, because actually these three are related. Well, probably you will not believe me. Okay, yeah, great. Yeah, thank you for your participants. Yeah, thank you for your interest. Well, actually, the three are related. Probably you don't believe now, but I will show you later. Yeah. And for the reading, as I have explained earlier, we're going to read this part. This is actually the beginning of Odyssey. Well, probably you all have the. I guess you have the PDF data. I have already sent the file to you. So we're going to analyze these several lines, but of course not today, not everything today. Probably I hope we can finish first two lines, but do not underestimate the complexity and the information hidden under these two lines. There are so much to say, really. There's so much to talk about, I assure you. Yeah. Well, this is the Odyssey text, so let's probably start our grammar first. Well, actually, I raised a question today about this word, about ξένος. Probably I can just briefly explain this, because ξένος is really a very important and very frequent word in your Greek lesson. Well, I have said that it means foreigner, right? It means foreigner or a guest, of course, yeah. But as you can see, it cannot be primary. Which means that it must come from something, right? Well, this one is pretty simple, right? You all know that this is S, and so I put it, if I put it like this, so S is nominative singular, so it's fine, case ending, right? Nominative singular, masculine, right? And then this no is also no problem. It's the O grade, right? So what is this one? Ξέν. And what does foreigner mean? What does guest mean? So what is the meaning of guest? Yeah. So if we trace the origin, it's a little bit interesting. Well, there are, of course, there are already several, there are, I mean, a lot of research on this word. So I just want to show you one thing. So a colleague of mine or a friend of mine, he has written an article called The Derivational History of Greek Xenos, and his name is Thomas Stier, and he works in Erlangen and Munich. Well, so to just make it very short, I just tell you the results. So if we check Sanskrit, there's a word called, probably all know that, or not all, but a lot of you probably know this word. So this word is a word which I mentioned a long time ago. This word called ghas. And last time so the last time I talked about ghas is in the occasion of suppletion. So I talked about suppletion last time. So suppletion, I asked several questions. So in Sanskrit, in Vedic, in Vedic, if we have this word called at means eat, right? And then the present is called ati. But this root has no aorist. If you want to build the aorist, you need another root, which is ghas. Yeah. So ghas means eat, right? Okay. And then this is also an interesting point. So this is a German word for guest. It's related to, of course, related to English word guest. So gust, it also contains this ghas. And if you know, let's probably recall Green's law, which I also talked about some time ago, but I will repeat it next Tuesday during our Germanic class. So due to Green's law, we know G must come from PIE ghas, right? And ghas is usually preserved in Sanskrit. So the result is actually Germanic root, a Germanic word, gast, Greek word xen. They all go back to the root ghas. So this is the root ghas. Yeah. So they all from PIE ghas, and ghas means eat. So what is the meaning of guest? So actually you ask him for eating. So as someone who come and to eat, yeah, to eat with the host, yeah. So this is a very interesting explanation or interesting etymology, yeah. So this means that, well, just like among Chinese or among the Asians, like invite someone for dinner, invite someone for give someone a treat, give someone a dinner. So it's a very popular tradition, even in the ancient Indo-European society. Yeah. And for this one, I probably will not talk about the complicated derivation. But if you're interested, I can explain later, yeah, because this is not our today's main topic. I just want to mention that the etymology of ξένος is really interesting, that it is connected with gast and go back to the Indo-European root for eat. Okay. Okay. So this is for eating. Yeah. Okay. So this is okay. So this is the very trivial thing. And now let's move on to the grammar. 这个 So I think this part I don't need to translate into Chinese. I hope you all understand the explanation, right? Okay. And now let's move on to the grammar. So in the Greek grammar, we haven't talked about present, but probably next time we'll talk about present. Present is a little bit complicated. There are a lot of different classes of present. And today we'll talk about something something simple. It's this one. It's a perfect. And we also talked about perfect in Vedic, right? So like in Vedic, if we want to build a perfect from cha, you would like this, right? And also if you want to build a perfect like, yeah, I think this is enough. Or gum, yeah, you have so this is all third person singular. Yeah. So this is all third person singular. Yeah. Okay. And then I also mentioned that actually in Proto-Indo-European, the perfect is actually, if we have a root like this one, if we have a root like this one, and you would build the perfect like this, right? And then you plus ending, right? So this is actually all you need. Yeah. But in Greek, there's a very interesting class. Let's check it. If wait a minute. So this is the grammar of Smyth. Smyth's Greek grammar. It's a little bit weird. Yeah. Wait a minute. I want to. Oh, sorry, Jagama. Yeah, I made a mistake. Sorry, Jagama. Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah, of course, Jagama. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's a little bit. I couldn't find the. Well, in Greek, there's another. So let's check it. In Greek, there's another word. And in Sanskrit, there's a word called darsh, right? And darsh means sea, right? And in Greek, for darsh, we have we can build this one. Yeah, this is perfect. I have seen, or he has seen, right? And in Greek, we have. So this is I. This is oh, sorry. This is I, and this is the door K, right? And this is it, right? And we know based on this model, based on these two models, we know that in Greek, in Proto-Indo-European, we have reduplication and then the O grade of the root, and then you plus any. So this is actually what we have also discussed last time. But interestingly, in Greek, you have a very special case, right? So let's take this. So this perfect is called k-perfect. Why? Because, wait a minute. Because in this, because for this k-perfect, we have reduplication here, right? Is it big enough? Should I make it a little bit bigger? Yeah. Yeah. So this is called k-perfect. And of course, we have the reduplication. This is inherited from Proto-Indo-European. And then you have the root, right, called PIE. And then between and R is the personal ending for first person singular. And this is a third person singular. But you find a K in between. And then for this one, timao, tetimeka. And for this one, komizo, you find kekomika. So you always find a K in between. So this is something you don't find in Vedic, right? And also you don't find it here. Of course, you have a K. You can argue that, well, you already have a K here. So it's difficult to put another K here. But the reason is not like this. So in Greek, we have a k-perfect. And then let's move on. So this is why I say that it is also related to perfect, to aorist, yeah, sorry. And then let's move on probably to aorist. Wait a minute. I'm actually not sure which part. Wait a minute, I will find it for you. So this is the part for the aorist. Wait a minute. It's a little bit strange. Probably I can use Smythe's grammar. You can also search together if you want. Yeah. Oh, okay. So you find it also here. Like this is histemi, and you also find the perfect here, right? Yeah. Okay. So how can we explain this one? So we have a very special class in Greek with a k element between this one. So it's like, so this is a original PIE perfect, but for the Greek, you have to put a K in between. So originally, this goes back actually to, wait a minute. Yeah. Probably if we check, wait a minute. I need to show you the situation in sorry, wait a minute. should make I should use a bookmark. Well, let's check the grammar by Rix. So this is wait a minute. If we want to explain the historical background of the Greek grammar, we need to use this book. I already mentioned this book earlier, so it's by Helmut Rix, and he's actually the supervisor of my supervisor. Okay, so let's move to the, I think I already sent the PDF file to you, so you can find the detailed information here, right? Yeah, so this is what I want to show you. So actually in Greek, we have the normal root aorist. You find it, so I think I can show you a paradigma. Okay. So like this one, you can, wait a minute, you can find it. You can find it here. So actually in Greek aorist, you have the root aorist. So in Greek, you have also the root aorist, right? And for the root aorist, you just put the root with the ending, right? So like for this one, you have in Greek called ebe. So in Greek, you have something like, I think I need to use Greek alphabet. Yeah. So you have ebe, and this is related to Vedic agat. So this a corresponds to the Vedic R. So this is augment for the past tense, for the past, yeah. And then you have here, there's nothing here, right? So there's nothing. But in Greek, so in Vedic, you have a T. So this is a regular sound change. In Greek, auslautende, sorry, how can I translate auslautend? Auslautend, T, yeah. Auslautend means, which is the last sound of, which is last sound. So in Greek, T just disappears, you don't have it. It disappears if it is at the end, yeah. And then this be corresponds to ga, but this is a labia, this is a vela. It means that it goes back to a labia vela. So this is pretty clear, right? I hope you all know this. And this is actually so-called root aorist. But together, this root aorist, there's a very interesting k-aorist. Let's check it. So there's also a k-aorist. And this k-aorist, we also find it here. There's also a k-aorist. And the k-aorist, we have it here. Greek, SK, yeah. And this SK, let's analyze it. Yeah. Sorry. And this A again is the augment, right? And this R is a personal ending. But this time, take care. This personal ending is M. So originally, it goes back to A and H and H1 and plus K and then M. So this is the original form. I hope you feel 你们就是我这样写，你们不会觉得不舒服吧？ I hope you don't feel uncomfortable if I write like this one. Yeah, I can of course type this subscript, but it's a little bit trouble. Yeah, so I just write it like this, and I hope you all know that this is up. This I think I should make it precise. Sorry, I think I should make it precise. Yeah, so this goes back to this root, right? Yeah, okay, you have it here. But in this book, laryngeal is written as like earlier in the earlier literature. Laryngeal is considered as a schwa, and this is but it stands for laryngeal, right? So this is the reason. And M, original first person singular for secondary ending. This is past, so we need to use a secondary ending, right? And then this is there's two consonants, right? So you have to make it into a vowel. So this is the reason why we have R here. And this R is different from this R. So this is two different things. You have to keep it in mind. So this R from perfect, it goes back to laryngeal 2. This goes back to laryngeal 2A. Yeah, there are two different things. Yeah, but this R goes back to M. Yeah, this is I. Yeah. And then let's analyze again. And then this C is the root called deich. Deich means to put. And then in between you have a k here. Okay, and then very interestingly, we actually talk about this root. I think someone mentioned that this root also means make, right? I think I forgot who talked about, and probably Mr. Zhao's Sanskrit class, right? And this root can mean make, but originally it means put. And this is actually confirmed. This semantic is actually confirmed by the Latin, by the italic. If we check let's check the root. Wait a minute. So let's check the root. So this root is called deich, right? So this root means deich, and this deich has actually a variant. Check this. So there's a variant. This deich has a variant called deik with this k and with this k element. And this k is actually check here. So Erweiterung von deich, so it is an extension from the deich. But the origin of this k element is unclear. So the information is that actually we have a k element in Proto-Indo-European, but the exact meaning of this k element is unclear. Well, some suffix, some elements, the meaning of some elements can be made clear, but this one is unfortunately not quite clear. But what we know is that this k element is used in several cases, like this one, a k element in aorist. And it is probably influenced by this take, a variant of the root put to place, right? And also to make. And this is actually the origin of the Latin word facio. You have it here, facio, facere, and also, of course, the French word faire. Yeah. Okay, and then why should we need an element? So there are actually two questions. The meaning or the meaning of the K element is actually not clear, but the reason why or the motivation we can actually a little bit analyze. The reason is that, let's check this root. I think you all know this root, right? So this is a root called, this is a root called stand, right? Yeah. Stand. Or actually to, how to put it? Hinstellen, sich hinstellen, yeah. I think the exact meaning is actually this hinstellen, yeah. Well, I think you all, yeah, I think you all familiar with the meaning stand, but actually stand is not the real correct meaning. It means actually wohin treten or sich hinstellen. But what is the difference between these two roots, between these two meanings? What is the difference? So I translate this into Chinese, into English. So it means that to enter into some place, and you put yourself into some place, and then stand. So what is the difference? Stand is a durative meaning, right? So you stand there, and then this is continuous, right? So it's durative and it's continuous, but enter is not durative, is punctual. Punctual, yeah. So you enter some place, right? And then this is a action with definite, with very clear starting point and end point, right? 就是这个词 ，so I use a little bit Chinese to explain this。就这个词，大家学语法、学查字典什么之类的，一般遇到的意思就是站，对不对？但事实上，这个词原本的意思并不是站，就跟之前跟大家说过 asked 这个词，这个词的意思也并不是吃。This is just similar to add. Add is actually originally not eat, but something very specific. It means bison, like you use your bite, like bite or chew, like something like this. Yeah. So you use your teeth to bite something, and then comes the meaning eat. And just like this one, steg actually means first enter. You come to a place and then you put yourself into a place, and then comes the meaning stand. Why? And probably you just feel uncomfortable with such a complicated explanation. The reason why we need to establish this meaning is that it's supported by the tense, by the different tense. The aorist is a root aorist. So it means that this root has a punctual meaning. But the present is a reduplicated present. It means that the root cannot be durative. It must be punctual. And then you need a reduplicated present. Yeah. 就说这个词根啊，你看它是构成根过去式。根过去式，过去式的含义是一种瞬时性的，就这个动作是有明确起止点的，是不能够持续的。然后呢，你如果用根过去式的话，就说明这个词根本身就是一个瞬时性的。然后你再看，既然是瞬时性的词根的话，那你就不能用现在时，因为现在时是一种持续性的动作，所以你要用一种就是这种重叠的，就像我之前跟大家讲的蹦蹦跳跳这个例子， 就有朋友跟我反映说这个例子非常好，蹦蹦跳跳。Like in Chinese, there's an interesting phrase called jump jump. Yeah. So like in Chinese we have jump jump. I mean in Chinese, yeah. It means that you are continuously jumping, but jump itself is a punctual meaning. Like I think you all understand, right? Jump is a one-time action, right? But if you want to describe someone who is continuous jumping, and then you need a reduplication. You have to double it, right? So jump, jump. Right? So this is the point. Okay, so it's a little bit okay. I talked a little bit too much, so let's come back to the root, steak. So this root, if I want to build root, how do you say that? If I want to build a root aorist, root perfect. If I want to build a perfect, so what should I do? Yeah, let's so let's do it together. So for the perfect, you of course need a reduplication, but this is actually yeah, okay. You also have it here. So for this root, let's do it. Let's do it in this way. Yeah, right. So for the first, wait a minute. So I and it, right? So I, you need a wait a minute, right? Yeah, and right. I hope you can understand this part. So if you want to build a perfect, and then you need this formula, right? Okay, so let's put this root into this formula. So reduplication, actually, it's not actually important here. The reduplication is a little bit tricky. We don't need to talk about reduplication now. What's important here is this part. So let's write it this one. So make all right. Sorry, while you were teaching the verb class in Sanskrit, found you talk about the root. Ah, okay, okay, yeah. Okay, right? And then this one, let's do it again. Right? Okay. So this is the first one for I have stood, or I have, yeah, for the first person, and then this is for the for the third person. So let's check this one, and let's check this one. So they are the same, right? You have laryngeal 2, and then this is again laryngeal 2, and here you also have a laryngeal 2. So this will turn out to be same. They will be exactly the same. There's actually no difference if you use this one. Yeah. Okay. So this is the reason why you need to put something in between, and then you have something different. That's right. So this is actually probably the motivation for adding a K, in between to distinguish the first and third. So this is probably the reason, because if you don't have this K, you have H2, this is actually the same, H2E, and then this is again H2E if you don't have the K here. So if you don't have a K here, So this is basically the same, H2A. So this is he, and then you don't have a K here, and this is he. So this is actually would make the two forms identical. And it's also the same logic if you want to build a root, how to say that? Want to build a root aorist, right? So you just use this, a root aorist is a little bit different. Yeah. But perfect, this is actually the logic for adding a K in between. So originally, this K element comes from root ending in a laryngeal, especially ending in laryngeal 2, or I think also laryngeal 3, right? Because they will become the same if you don't have a K in between. Yeah. OK， 就是我用中文解释一下，就是说，如果大家想象一下，就直接这么构成的话，它的结尾是不是就会变成 H2，对不对？然后这个就会变成一个 H2。那 H2 两个 H2是不会有影响，两个 H2就会变成一个 H2，就是对吧？两个 H2还会变成一个 H2，所以就会让第一人称单数和第三人称单数的形式是一模一样的，你根本没法区分。然后这在早期语言当中是不被允许的，他们需要去区分，所以就会加一些元素进去。那其中一个元素，一种 candidate， 一种可能的方案就是加一个 K， 那这个 K 呢是在其他那个场合也在使用的。好，那说到这个 K 的话 ，so let's probably move back to the K again. So for this K, let's talk about this word. This is a word for B in Tocharian. Yeah. So in Tocharian, the word for B, the copular word, is called nes or nas. Nes is Tocharian B, and nas is Tocharian A. And this is an interesting word because 就是在德国的时候，because in Germany, if the word for describing healthy or healthy after a disease, you would use this word, genesum. Yeah, called genesum. Or genesum is actually the noun, and the verb is called genesen. Genesen actually means recovery. So in New High German, we have a word called genesen, right? Genesen means recover. So you recover from a disease, right? Okay. And then you would find it also here. So ge is a preverb or a not preverb, sorry, prefix. And then n is ending. Not ending, the suffix for the infinitive. So actually the root is also nes, right? And this nes go back to the root PIE nes. And this PIE nes has a very interesting meaning. It means davon kommen unbeschadet Heimkehr. So it means that you are not, you are unhurt and safely come back home. Yeah, you come back home safely without any injury. And this is also the root you find in a lot of Greek and Sanskrit words. Like in Sanskrit, you have a word called nas, nasate, like you united, the people united at home, right? And then a Greek word called neomai, keherheim, like come back home. And this is a very famous, this will smoothly move on to our second topic, that is reading of Odyssey. So actually in Odyssey, the key topic, so in Iliad, right? In Iliad, the topic, the theme is called meaning, right? So you probably all know, that meaning, yeah, right? Meanings, yeah. So this is anger, and this is actually the anger, right? Anger of Achilles, right? And the Odyssey, in Odyssey, the theme is actually, can anyone write it? It's connected. You can write Latin letters. You don't need to use Greek alphabet. So it's connected with this root. So can anyone tell me the theme in Odyssey is in which Greek word?你们能明白吗？要我用中文说一遍吗？就是奥德赛的主题，如果用一个词来概括的话，是什么？然后这个词和这个词根是有关系的。啊，这个问题太难了吗？好吧 ，OK， 我来写吧，没关系，没关系，我就随便先问一问。This is the key topic, or this is the theme, central theme of Odyssey. It's called nostos. And what is the meaning of nostos? So let's check a Greek dictionary. So nostos means return home. Nostos means return home. So this is actually the central theme of Odyssey. Nostos. Yeah. Return home, right? And then you will find it, well, it's really strange. How does it anything to do with this K? You would find it really surprised that I say that this is connected with K, right? Nostalgia, right? Yeah, okay. So I say that in Tocharian, nes and nas is the word for be in Tocharian. But if we check Tocharian verb, so let's check the Tocharian verb. So the Tocharian verbal system is a little bit interesting. Yeah. Let's check it. So this is a word, nes. It means be, right? Present, nesal, nest, nesham, nesum, nesam, nesamnia, and so on. So this is okay, so this is present. But check it. There's no subjunctive. This is really weird, right? There's only present, but there's no subjunctive. Why? Because in Tocharian, this word has a suppletion. Yeah. Suppletion in Tocharian. The subjunctive. So this is the present. Present is nes, but subjunctive is a totally different root. It's called tak. So tak, be, and there is no present. There's only subjunctive, yeah, called takal, takat, takam, takam, takachi, and so on. It's called tak, yeah. And this tak is exactly this root, steak. So this tak comes back to PIE, steak, and with a K element here. Yeah, so this is a K element you find in Greek, also in Tocharian, and also in Latin Italic languages. This is very important element, K element. Yeah. Okay, so this is actually everything for the grammar. So next time, probably we can talk about future I have prepared this topic for a long time, but probably we must postpone this topic to next time. Yeah. And then before we make, so let's make a stop, and then we will continue the reading of Odyssey. Since this is, yeah, I have said that this is the main topic, this is a theme, central theme. In Odyssey, it is νοστος, it means return home, and the root means come back home safely. So, so I think we can make a stop, and we will read this passage later on. Yeah. So I stop recording, and we will talk about. Oh, sorry. No, it's different. Yeah, there's also s-aorist in Greek, of course. There's also s-aorist in Greek, but that's two different things. Yeah. In Sanskrit, we don't have this k, right? There's no k-aorist in Sanskrit. So I stop. Oh, wait a minute. There's another question. What would be the situation in other languages, branches like Sanskrit? That k, yeah, in Sanskrit we don't have it. Yeah, but if you want to check the information of perfect, well, it depends on different languages, of course. So in Greek, you have a k-aorist and perfect, and also in Latin there is actually no. Yes, no, yeah, no k element, and also in Sanskrit you don't have it, but this k element is preserved in Tocharian, right? Steak, tak, yeah. And this is also something interesting, that present and subjunctive, you need suppletion. Yeah. This also means that subjunctive in Tocharian is not the subjunctive in Greek, right? So in Greek and Sanskrit, you would not, like in Greek and Sanskrit, no suppletion for present and, sorry. There's no suppletion for present and subjunctive. This is versus, yeah. Yeah, there's no subjunctive for present and subjunctive, right? In Greek and Sanskrit, I think also in Italic, right? But in Tocharian, present and subjunctive use different stems. There's suppletion, right? This is something really interesting. Yeah. Okay. So it means that subjunctive in Tocharian is not the subjunctive we understood for Greek and Sanskrit, or for the central or the core, for the core or central PIE. Yeah. So actually, there are actually some terminologies, like we can reconstruct Indo-European system based on Greek and Sanskrit. This is very successful, and has been established, and had already been established before the discovery of Hittite and Tocharian, or Anatolian to be specific, Anatolian, and to be precise, Anatolian and Tocharian. But after this discovery of Anatolian and Hittite and Tocharian languages, the beautifully built, reconstructed system of PIE was a little bit shaken. Yeah. So the system of the system reconstructed from Greek and Sanskrit, we can call it a central PIE or core PIE. This is okay. Okay, so let's make a stop. I think it's Peter. And for the Germanic, I don't think there's, but Germanic perfect is also a little bit tricky. It has combined the aorist and perfect. So you can see that aorist and perfect is also closely related, right? Yeah, aorist and perfect. Okay, so let's make a stop and stop. So this is a phenomena not only in how to say that. Wait a minute. So this is a phenomena not only in Indo-European languages, but also in Semitic languages. I actually selected an example which I want to use for the future, for the explanation of future. So actually in in Hebrew, if we want to say, if we want to say, yeah, if we want to express the meaning, say, speak, talk, and actually two verbs. First one is called hamar, second one is higit. For this word, I think it's amar, yeah. It's not aspirated, right? Amar, right? And this root or this form is used predominantly in past, yeah. But in the imperative or in the future, you use another word. Yeah. I don't know if this occurs also in like Finno-Gallic and Afro, yeah, in African languages and also in the language families. But Semitic and the Indo-European languages, they have such phenomena. So very okay. Okay, so I think we can probably start reading. Okay, so this is critical edition by Martin West. This is you see this is three parts, sorry. First part is the text. It's critically edited and established text. And then the second part is testimonia. I assume that you all know these terminologies because I explained these terms earlier. This is testimonia. And then this is critical apparatus. Yeah, okay, you find it here. And for the critical apparatus, I would also recommend you to use the edition by Ludwig, Arthur Ludwig. So his text edition is about 100 years earlier, but still one of the most authoritative editions until now. So in his edition, you would find a lot of information about manuscript reading. Yeah. Okay, so this is basically the two most important check it. Yeah. This is actually the central theme of Odyssey, and you find it already in the 5th line, right? Yeah, nostos. Okay, so we are going to read this. And I make a note here. So which one do you prefer? This one by Ludwig or this one by Martin West? 就是你们喜欢哪一种字体啊？ Which font do you prefer? This one, this is a newly typed Teubner. And this one is, so let's make it here. This is Ludwig, and wait a minute. So you can compare which font you like. Yeah. So this is actually the modern edition. It's and this one is the about 100 years older. Yeah. Okay. So you all prefer Ludwig. Okay. Great. Okay. So probably we can use. They actually look, yeah, they look different, right? Yeah. Okay, Ludwig. So let's check Ludwig. Yeah. Oh, you prefer? Yeah, I mean it's just a personal taste. It's okay. I just want to, yeah, I just want to have more interaction. 就是我们增加一点互动而已。我也不是说一定要选一个。Okay, so let's so let's probably start reading. This word, first word, we already talked about it last time. So andramoi enepe musa polytropon hos mara pora branchese epetroies hieron ptoliesron eperse. So there's 2 lines, and as I said, there are a lot of information hidden behind this. So the first one we talked about last time. So actually for this part, we need not, of course we need the text edition, but we actually need, for the first 2 lines, we actually need this one. So this is, wait a minute. Okay. Yes, we will compare this. So the first word I have explained. So for the first word I have explained earlier, andra means the man. So probably I can give you the English translation if you need it, right? So this is English translation. So I copy it here, so that you have a basic idea of the content, right? Yes, yeah. So this is actually the meaning. Tell me, muse of the man of many devices, driven far astray after he had sacked the sacred citadel of Troy. Okay. And the first word, andra, yeah. And it has a variant in another text. This is in Idiot, right? You all know that. And I explained last time, this anera is probably older form. Man, accusative singular, right? Okay. And then the second one, moi, there's not much to say. Moi means to me, yeah. Tell something to me, right? So this is moi, dative, right? Okay, and then comes a third word, enepe. And enepe, you all know that it means to tell, right? Okay, take a look. So the words with hochgestellte, with how to say that, with like a footnote, right? This is the words we are going to analyze. Okay, so this enepe has another form, attested, like in other places, row 561, and you can get it. So in another text, we have enepoimi, right? But this is optative, but the stem is clear. Yeah. So I highlight this. Yeah. Okay, so tell me, which one is older? So this is first number. This is number 1. This is number 2. So tell me, which is older? First answer, second one is older. And does anyone have other opinion? First one is older. No. First one. Okay, more people choose first one. Okay. Okay, first one. The answer is, sorry. The answer is first one. This one is older. Yeah. This one is older. Yeah. But why? Because this word goes back to the word. I think you all know the meaning of this English word, inquire. I don't put any translation. Inquire means inquire, right? Okay. Inquire means you ask something, you consult someone, you ask about something, right? And this inquire is exactly cognate. Well, it actually comes from Latin. And this Latin word is cognate with the Greek word enep. So let's check it. This qua actually is labia. It's a labia vela, right? And this labia vela turns usually to a P before, no, not before. Usually turns into a P, yeah, in certain context. And then let's check the dictionary. So this is actually this word. And this word is also cognate with, enep, Greek enep is actually also cognate with German, New High German, sagen, yeah. Sagen, yeah. So actually we have a g here, yeah. And we also have a s here. So sagen is cognate with enepe, but why do we have double n here? It's because this n first is like the Latin word. So this n and this n, this is all a prefix, means yin, right? So this is just like in, with the prefix in. And then this second in goes back actually to n, sep. So this is actually a double consonant, n plus a sep. And this sep is cognate with seg, because this per goes back to a vela, labia vela, qua, yeah. So this is why we have enepo, because this n plus a s, and then assimilation, right? And then this is, assimilation. I think you can understand this, yeah. And if you check, how to say that? If you check the aorist, I think it's better. There's any plus a spur. It's better, yeah. But if you put them together, there will be assimilation. Right? This is the first word called enepe, but this is. I think I can. I think I should. Sorry. I think I should make it separately. Wait a minute. Okay, so this is a third word called enepe, but it has a variant called enepe with a single n. Yeah, okay. And then let's move on. Polytropone, there's not much to say. It's a compound like polytropone, right? And this is accusative singular with n. And can anyone tell? This means so this is attribute to Odyssey or Odysseus. Yeah. And poly means many. Tropone means kind of originally it means actually turning, but then it means like way or method. Yeah, it's man of many devices or many methods or many crafts, like something like that. And then let's tell then what kind of compound is this? So first choice, tat purusha. Second one, ama darya. Third choice, it's bahu rihi. Fourth, it's dvandva. Yeah. So what is your choice? Polytropone. What kind of compound is this one? Yes, it's pretty simple. Yeah. Not that difficult. Yeah, it's a bahuvrihi compound having many methods, right? Okay, and then let's move on. Hos. The variant is here. Ho. This is not that important, but the difference is hos. Originally, it should be relative, right? Relative pronoun, right? But sometimes it is replaced by the article. Yeah. So this is actually a difference. Yeah. And then mara actually means quite a lot. Yeah. Yeah, it is not translated in the English translation, but mara means a lot, quite a lot, quite, like quite a lot. In German, it's ganz, whole, wholly. Yeah. And then pora means a lot, many. And then the next one called pranxe. Okay, sorry, pranxe. I write it here. Well, the English transcription would be a little bit weird, so I think I use Greek alphabet. Okay, so this word actually means he has suffered a lot, right? He's driven afar astray after he had, driven far astray. So it's just like this meaning. So he's, how do you say that? So probably we can check the dictionary. I actually forgot the original, wait a minute. So I forgot the present form. Okay, so present, you find it here. So present actually means, sorry, to present actually means called prazo or plazo, means to strike or driven apart or driven back. Yeah, so it is driven away. Be driven, drift, right? Okay, so this is what? And then let's check it. So the fourth, so there's another variant for planxe called eplanxe with augment. For example, in Iliad 291. So actually we have another form called eplanxe. And we all know that this is actually a aorist aorist passive. Sorry, yeah, you check it. So this is aorist passive. Sorry, so this is aorist passive, right? And this is aorist, right? Okay, and then can anyone tell me which one is correct? Or they are both correct? So what is your opinion? First one is correct, second one is correct, or they are both correct? Both are correct. The second one. Oh, second one. Okay. You all choose second one. So you think that here is wrong, right? So here is wrong. So Odyssey, so Odyssey is wrong, right? And Iliad is correct, right? Okay, so what is the choice? 1 or 2 or 1 and 2? Yeah. Which? Okay, both. Yeah. Actually, both. Yeah, they are all correct. Yeah. But what is the difference? Usually in the Greek grammar, I mean the modern, not modern, the Greek grammar, the normal Greek grammar used by the classics, because if you study classics in Europe or in the United States, you also need to read Homer. But for them, this is just a variant without augment. So this is only explanation called aorist without augment. Yeah. And this is epic. It's also epic. You also find this explanation in the grammar books by the classists. But actually, this form has an Indo-European background. It's called injunctive. Yeah. Also, in German, it's called Injunctive. Yeah. Injunctive. Injunctive is like there are these are actually moods, right? Or in German, it's called modus. So in Indo-European languages, we have these different modus, right? Imperative. Yeah. This is typical, or the how to say that, this familiar moods you always find in the grammar. But there's actually a third, there's actually a fifth, yeah, called injunctive. Yeah. The reason why I put injunctive before subjunctive is that injunctive is sometimes more original because it is simpler. It is 就是更简单. It is simpler, right? Because it consists actually the stem, or actually the stem plus ending, and this ending is actually a secondary ending. Secondary ending. So this is injunctive. So how can you build an injunctive? You use a stem and then you plus a personal ending. So this is everything. But for subjunctive, how do you use it? Subjunctive, you use a stem and then you plus a semantic vowel. Semantic vowel. and then you put an ending. So this is it's a little bit more complicated, but not that complicated. You just put a semantic vowel, here. Okay. So what is and you all know about subjunctive, 虚拟语气, or optative, like 祈愿语气, the function of these two, or imperative, of course you know. But what is the function of injunctive? So injunctive function of injunctive. There are actually two. Okay, first one is mentioning or erwähnung. The second one, plus negation. Sorry. The first one is mention. You mention something, you describe something. Description. The second one, negation, means prohibitive or prohibitive or well, it's just like stop doing something, or don't do something, like don't do something. It's just like this one. Don't do something. Okay, so this is a reason why we can translate injunctive as 言及法. So this is a translation in Japan, Goto, and other people translate this as 言及法. You just mention something, you describe something. You describe something that is independent of time. It's kind of something universal, something that is well known, like that. And then check this context. So Odyssey is someone, horse, who very many sufferings. He was driven. He was stricken. He was driven, and he has suffered quite a lot. So this is kind of a mentioning or description. It's independent of time. Not only yesterday, not only the day before yesterday, not only this year, but also last year, the previous year, and so on, so on. So this is kind of a, there's no time. There's actually time free. So this is also the reason why there's no augment, because augment is always connected with past time. But if you don't add an augment, it means something universal or something quite well known, generally acknowledged. Okay, so this is actually the part. And since we already reached the time, I'm not going to talk about a lot, but probably one word. Not this word. This word is not that very interesting. Of course, I can also talk about something, the hiero. Hieros actually means the sacred. The sacred. So I can put it here. So hiero means sacred. We can talk about later, But this, for the last part, I want to talk about this word. It's called ptólís. So it means, the meaning is that citadel, right? This is kind of fortress. We already seen the picture last time. We know that the, how do you say? Oh, I think I put, wait a minute. Where did I put this? Wait a minute, probably we can check the picture. again. Probably here. Wait a minute. Yes, this is actually the citadel. Yeah, so you see that it is high. It's falsified. Yeah, it's surrounded by the high walls, right? So this is actually the Idion. It refers to the Idion. So Idion is actually the fortress, the citadel of the Troy, right? And then the word ptolις. So this is a little bit weird. Let's check it probably in the dictionary.就之前有朋友说我就是每次讲课内容总是准备的太多了，然后总是会拖堂。我其实有点不好意思，所以就是每次总是要拖一段时间。那其实我的初衷是这样的，就是我是觉得大家既然辛辛苦苦，或者是大家都非常认真的，或者是都挤出时间来听我的课，然后我觉得讲的东西如果太少的话，有点对不起大家的那个宝贵的时间，所以我尽量想多讲一些东西，然后希望大家能够找到一些有意思的、有用的东西。OK。希望你们不要介意，我这个讲完了之后就可以了。I just explained that someone suggested to me that I should actually to how to say that reduce the content of the lecture because otherwise I will lengthen our lecture too much. Okay, so you find this word called ptolις, and you check it. Ptolις is called a town, a city, but often in a more restricted sense than polis. Okay, so we know that this is actually related to polis, right? So then probably let's check the etymological dictionary. So actually, we also find polis here. I think I can make it a little bit bigger. Okay. Okay, so this is the polis word. We probably all know that. So this is the word polis. It means city, right? But this polis has a very interesting form. It's called epic. It's in epic or in Cyprus. Cyprus. I don't know how to Cyprus. I don't know how to write the Cyprian. Yeah, Cyprus. Yeah. You know what I mean, right? You Cyprus, Cyprian. Cypriot. Okay, Cypriot. Yeah. Epic in epic Sanskrit, in epic Greek, and also in Cyprus, and also in Thessaly. Thessaly is actually. I think I can show you the map. Wait a minute. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so this is a map. Yes. Okay. So this is Thessaly, right? And this is Cyprus. Cyprus is here. Cyprus is here, right? Okay. And in Cyprus or in Thessaly, we have the form called ptolις. Ptolις. And also in Mycenaean Greek, This is also important. So let's check it. So Polish, right? But also have Polish, yeah. Polish. And this ptolis we have in Cypriot. Also, we have Mycenaean because we have ptolio, yeah, here. And this polis, etymologically, it is actually connected with cognate, with Sanskrit pur. And pur actually means city, right? Or a town, right? Yeah. And pur, they probably go back to the Proto-Indo-European root. It's a root called plague. Plague. Yeah, plague. No, to feel. To feel. I think I can check it. Yeah, this is this word. You also find it in Greek. I think you also learned this word, pimpremi, called few. And also in Greek, in Vedic, you also have piprata and apiprata and so on. So this is, this is a typical word for feel, yeah, play, yeah, this fuelin. So actually the basic meaning for city is actually this city is filled by people. It's not an empty city, it's inhabited. There are a lot of people living inside, right? So this is actually the etymology of polis. But how can we explain this one? This is a little bit weird, right? P and pt. Yeah. There are some theories, but one of them I find it most convincing is this one. This is actually, you check it, this is not Attic. It's not Attic. It's like in Cyprus and also in Mycenaean is Thessaly. It's actually kind of dialect, right? So for this phenomena, we can check a book by Heuch. Wait a minute. So this is a book by Heuch. I can show you the picture. It's called L'élément Achaean dans la langue épique. So this is the Achaean element in the epic language. So Achaean, if you are not familiar, you can check the dictionary. So Achaean is a dialect, a Greek dialect, right? And it is actually Achaean Greek. I should put it Achaia. It's actually here, Achaean. Make it bigger. So it is actually this part of Greece. And then the Mycenaean Greek is nearby. Yeah, this is basically from this area. And very interestingly, this area is also mentioned in Hittite documents. I think I can show you the Hittite document. Ah, really? Okay, wait a minute. So let's check the book by Hofner, which we used last time for the Hittite letters. So this is a book we used last time. Yes, this is actually the place called Ahiyawa in the Hittite documents. So in Greek, so the Greeks are called Achaean. This is Greek, of course. And then in the Hittite, it is called Ahiyawa. So actually, there had been, since the ancient times, I mean, this is very ancient, like 15th century, before 15th century, because Mycenaean Greek is like 15th century, right? So this is Hittite material is always, it's just like the same period, 15th century. It could also be earlier. So already in the ancient times, there's contact between this part of Greece. This is the Mycenaean Greece, Mycenaean part of the Greece, and then between the Hittite kingdom. So this is also already a contact between Hittite kingdom and the Achaeans. Yeah, and it is also recorded as Ahyawa in the Hittite documents. So based on this, the explanation of Heuch is that, so this word, yeah, he discussed this word. So this word, we can just jump to his conclusion. I won't spend time reading French. I just explain it a little bit. So we know that the alternation of the initial sound pt and p cannot be explained inside the Indo-European linguistics. And it is different from the case of Hasson and Hamoy, because in this case, we actually have a guttural, we actually have a velar sound, or a labial velar. And then the conclusion is that this is actually, it is possible that ptóllis and ptolemos, they don't have a, they don't have a, how do you say that, a secure explanation sound change. It's not a real regular sound change in Indo-European, but it is probably a word influenced by the Mediterranean area. So this is actually the explanation. So this form is restricted to a specific dialect or specific dialects areas. Like you see Cyprus, you all know Cyprus here is close to Anatolian, right? Western Anatolian, and also Thessaly. So Thessaly is here. So this is also, well, it's not really Western Anatolian, but you can just, they are connected, right? If we assume that the Luvians and the Anatolians people just arrive from the northern side, and then the Mycenaean. And the Mycenaean people have had already a lot of contacts with the Western Anatolian, which we have explained earlier, right? Yes, so this is this Pater for polis and also Podemos can be attributed to probably the Mediterranean period, Mediterranean vocabulary, something like that, influenced by other languages. Okay, so this is everything for today. Before we make a stop, let's give a brief summary of what we have done today. So today we first explain the etymology of a frequent word called ξένος, foreigner or guest, which is quite popular in Greek text, not only Epic Greek, but also Attic Greek, right? And this word is actually connected with the German word Gast, English guest, and Latin hostis. And it goes back to the root called ghas, to eat. So original meaning for guest and foreigner that it is someone who will eat together with you. Yeah. You invite him or invite them to dinner, to a meal. Yeah, you eat together. Okay, and then we start with grammar. We talk about the perfect. This is classical or the standard perfect formation, right? So you use a reduplication and then you use the O grade of the root. And then that's why you have chakara and then you have jagama. And also in Greek, you have dedorka, right? But in Greek, we also have a K perfect, which is quite popular. Yes, this K perfect is quite popular in Greek. And then, in order to explain this, we checked the aorist first. So actually in Greek, we also have a k-aorist. This K element you put between the root and the ending, right? So you have ethika, right? And this K element is, how to say that? This is already a Proto-Indo-European element. And I explained actually the motivation for this K element. And this is how to say, this is a Proto-Indo-European element. We find it in the Latin root. No, not here. We find it in the Latin root here. For this word, yes, like this one. This is kind of a root extension added to another root, a more simpler root called deich, and then you have deik, and this is the origin of the Latin word vacuo. Yeah. Okay, and this K element, why do we need a K element? Because for some verbs, for some roots, whose last sound is a laryngeal 2, you cannot distinguish between the first and the third person originally. So in order to distinguish these two forms, you can add a consonant. You can add a K consonant. And this K consonant is also preserved in Tocharian, right? So in Tocharian, we have the copular word nas, and for this word, we have suppletion in subjunctive. So present is called nes, but subjunctive is called tak. And this tak exactly goes back to steik. Yeah. Okay, so this is, and then this nes is also preserved in Greek. And this is the central theme of Odyssey. It's called nostos, means return home, safely return home. Yeah. Okay, and then we start reading the first two lines of Odyssey under the Moi and Epe, and we discussed the several interesting words like Enepe is cognate with German sagen and Latin inquit, and also polytropon and planche. And also this planche is actually cognate with the English word plague. But English plague comes from Latin, yeah, comes from Latin. Okay, sorry, plague. So English plague is cognate with planche, yeah, and this is actually the c-aorist. Now we're going to talk about aorist next time for the grammar. It actually comes from the deich. Yeah, actually it comes from deich. It's a compound. It's a compound from the deich, to put something, and this put functions as a suffix, right? This is a grammaticalization. Yeah, okay. Okay, so this is everything for today. Thank you for your attention. Until now, it's already 2 hours. Yeah. Okay, so yes, yeah. So see you next time. We will. There's a Sanskrit. There's a Tocharian class on Monday, and okay. So see you on Monday. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. Have a nice weekend and enjoy the rest of the day. Okay. So thank you very much again, and see you later. Okay. Bye bye.